Uh, Good morning, happy Monday, everyone. I guess I really couldn't talk about today's video. I always talk about my low, my high, my act of kindness, but this is something that, keep in mind, the story I'm about to tell you is completely an accident, misunderstanding type scenario. And I want you to understand, everything is perfectly fine. It actually is literally the same as it was yesterday. So, long story short, I've been busy doing some work, and I didn't have my phone on me. So my mom and dad, they're calling me a lot. Again, I don't have my phone on me. And they're legitimately worried. They literally came all the way here to see if anything was wrong. I wanted to make my mom cry because of that. And again, this is just a simple misunderstanding. It was an accident. I just didn't have my phone on me and didn't answer back. That's all I did. But the fact I made my own mom cry, which, okay. Frankly, you should never make your mom cry, ever. But if I made my mom cry, I'd rather have it be for something really great that I do. Like she's proud of me, And, I made my parents worry. So long story short, my low is the fact that I made my mom and dad worry. And now I have more incentive to keep my phone on me at all times, even when I don't think I'll use it. I guess if I want to be technical, my high is the fact that I got to give him a hug today. That was great. Actually, really glad I got to do that. And my act of kindness was actually something I did the night before. Full stop. You're going to find this hard to believe. I have never worked a grill before. A grill, barbecue, flipping burgers. I've never done that before. Ever. Even after last night, I barely have any idea how to start a grill. But, because here's the thing, I've made burgers for myself before. But for the most part, I either would have, done them on, a pan, or, use my broiler. Which, fun fact, British people call a broiler a grill. So, a little fun fact for you. But I actually have never used an actual grill before. And after having used a grill, you know what I do have to say? You see all those commercials and TV shows and movies where the guy is at the grill flipping or whatever he's on the grill, burgers and hot dogs. We had burgers last night for dinner, by the way. And you know what? There really is something to be said about doing that on a nice day. And full stop, I was not having, full stop, I really didn't think I did a good job. I really didn't think I did a good job at all. I really thought I totally, completely underdid the burgers. I made 10 cheese. There was 6 of us, my parents, myself, and my 3 nephews. 10 burgers. 5 had cheese. 5 didn't because there was only 5 pieces of cheese left. So I really am thinking, okay, I totally messed this up. Never worked. Probably make everybody sick. Messed up everything on the grill. Not gonna, but everything wound up being fine. So when I said my act of kindness was to make the burgers, I also cut up the lettuce, onion, and tomatoes for the burgers. So yeah, actually did a lot. And I should include my high the fact that yesterday I went on a nice boat ride with my family. That was a lot of fun. Jeepers. I just wish what happened this morning didn't happen. I mean, I feel horrible about it, I really do. And again, I didn't purposely do anything wrong. This is just a simple misunderstanding. Just keep my phone on me more often. And it's not like I was far away. Like, my phone, full stop, my bedroom is right behind this wall behind me. And my phone was in that room. So it's not like it was completely out of, well, physically, yes. Obviously you can't reach all the way around to get to my room. But my point is, it's not like I was very far away from my phone. And it's just one of those things where, I do gotta be careful. And honestly, I really should have taken my phone with me out when I did my work today. That's it. That's all. Not making that mistake again, though. For sure, I know better than to make that mistake again. But you know what? I lived through this. I learned from it. And you know what? Now I can actually talk about something I've been meaning to talk about. And I can't believe it. You know what? I might as well, because there's no One Piece manga chapter today. Episodes, what I think are 7 and 8 of Rick and Morty of season 8. Actually, hold on a second. I think, hold on. Okay. Sorry. It was episode 6 and 7, not 7 and 8. Episodes 6 and 7 of Rick and Morty, season 8. Right? I think I have 8 on the brain because it's season 8. So I'd be remiss if I didn't talk. You know what? It is kind of interesting that I talk about what happened this morning with my parents, considering episode 6 had that kind of moment that you get when you see a certain scene, and it just gets you. This is spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched Rick and Morty. But Beth and Clone Beth transform themselves back into little kids, and they trick Rick into becoming even older than he already is. And they're basically complaining how, you never loved us, you just left us, you never loved us, you just went out to mess around and do stuff. And, I mean, if you know Rick and Morty, you know Rick's real Beth already passed away. But remember, because Rick and Morty takes place over, it's a multiverse. Every version of Beth is technically Rick's daughter, even if one of them includes a clone. And I would be remiss if I said that I didn't kind of choke up a little bit after seeing the scene where, both of the children, Beth and old Rick, are, hugging and crying, I mean, that, I guess it's stuff like that that kind of, really emphasizes how, I guess, limited some things in life are. I mean, even like today, I can't believe I'm crying over Rick and Morty. Oh my gosh. Even today when I saw my mom and dad, that was great. But and I've been very blessed to, have that growing up. But someday I'm not gonna have it. And sometimes it really does get to me. Sorry. Oh gosh. Actually, I'm talking about Rick and Morty. I should be saying, "Oh, geez." Okay. Sorry. But that was a good episode. It really was. I mean, moments like that really make you feel feels in a good way. And sometimes you need a good cry. You just do. But let's talk about something more fun. Let's talk about last night's episode. When Rick and Morty are mad about a movie franchise that's being ruined, that is being made by James Gunn. Get to that in a second. So they go to James Gunn, complain to him, and so Rick makes his own machine, and he can make his own movies. That was actually really funny. It was. Although I couldn't really talk about this episode without talking about the two guest stars of the movie, who were James Gunn and Zack Snyder, who I just talked about a couple days ago in the video I did about Superman. Because if you don't know, Zack Snyder directed Man of Steel, which highly divisive. A lot of people don't like it, and trust me, I get it. And James Gunn is directing the new Superman that's coming out later this week. I know that Dan Harmon, one of the creators of Rick and Morty, is a pretty famous guy. He is. He knows a lot of people. And he, like many of us watching, shows like Rick and Morty, is a fanboy. He is. He literally had a show at one point called Harmon Quest, which is basically what Critical Role is doing now. Like a show about Dungeons and Dragons, which is awesome. Dan Harmon is the man, dude. So, on the one hand, while it kind of shocked me at first that, literally James Gunn and Zack Snyder are in this episode of Rick and Morty, I then realized, wait, this is Dan Harmon. It wouldn't surprise me at all if you knew both of those guys. And by the way, I want to say one thing, because at this point, it's kind of a running joke that Zack Snyder really is all about style over substance. He really hasn't made a really great movie in forever. I think the last movie he made that was fresh on Rotten Tomatoes might have been 300 actually. 20 years ago kind of. So, and again, even that movie was style over substance. But I like the fact that he knew how to play a parody of himself. So he's in on the joke. So he's able to go along with it. I like that. And James Gunn, of course, it's freaking James Gunn. I knew James Gunn would be able to do that no problem. I was actually kind of worried Zack Snyder would kind of be a little reserved, but no, he's not. Seriously, we like to make fun of movie directors and people like that when they're not successful or they wind up making mistakes like that. Like, if you want to make fun of a person for a mistake that they do, sure, go right ahead. But that doesn't mean, depending on the severity of the mistake, it doesn't mean. Listen, I myself have made a whole lot of mistakes in life. I can make the case that, the fact that my parents were that worried about me today, all because I didn't have my phone on me, yeah, that's a mistake on my end. I totally get that. But I don't, but that doesn't make me a bad person. I'll just, do a better job keeping my phone on me next time. That's all it is. And it actually is kind of funny of how Rick learns a lesson that making movies is hard. Listen, like, a part of me does kind of want to be a writer. I would totally love to be in a movie someday. I mean, this on the big screen, who wouldn't want to see that? But I get the process is hard. It's long hours. Job security isn't really the greatest. And you're always going to get some guy who will walk up to you and say, hey, listen, I can make a movie better than you can. I'm sure that happens. You know what? It's actually not unlike being an NFL head coach when you think about it. Again, long hours, not a lot of job security, and, there's always going to be someone out there who says they can do a better job than the actual head coach himself. So I'm really glad that, I think, I tell you what though, Dan Harmon easily would have had to have planned out this episode to premiere when Superman is about to premiere. I mean, you get Zack Snyder and James Gunn in this episode. I can't help but smile at that. I'm telling you right, I really do like this show. Listen, season 8's been really good so far. It really has. And I love that the next episode, it looks like, actually I don't want to get into it, but I'm really looking forward to what happens next. And with season 8 pretty much coming to a close, I think there's 2 more episodes after this upcoming one on the 13th. I better, someone's at my door. Let's take care of that in a second. I hope you like this video. Rick and Morty, great good watch. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe to YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm very amazing for all you guys watching. Hope you have a wonderful Monday. Remember, you guys want to talk to you, but take care, make good choices. 6 1 7 8.